Everybody in the galaxy, welcome back to planet Earth. It's Tape Tuesday. How we all doing out there? It's interesting to me how it always seems very calm on Tape Tuesday, right after Monosynth Monday. Not that Monosynth Monday steals all my fire, like Behringer did to Roland on the TD3. Ooh, ouch. But it is a bit more of a smooth feeling after Monosynth Monday. That was a fantastic and seriously fun show yesterday, Monosynth Monday. I encourage you to check it out if you're into, acid techno, TB303 sounds. We got Key Era in the chat, of course. We got Master Tiger in the chat. How we doing, Master? Okay, let's get started here. We're going to pick up where we left off because, sometimes you gotta, things sweep back and forth. You get what I'm saying, right? Wow. So last week on Tape Tuesday, it was, there was a lot of things seemingly on the fritz, but one of them was my brain. Because I did the tape loop. It's right here. And I suppose it has been a while since I had made any tape loops on live television, but I had the tape upside down when I was making it. So here's the loop tape I use. I chop that up and put it into my tape loops. And it needs to come out of the tape like so. Don't lose it. Oh, it's almost gonna get lost. Okay, it needs to come out of the tape, the cassette, I guess. The tape's coming out of the cassette, like that, because that's the read only side, the only read side. There we go. The only read side is is supposed to be against the playheads, so this has got to be a little bit lower. I had it coming out like that. I've never done it before. Well, on a show. I have made a whole stack of tape loops in reverse. So it's really important that you verify. And I've said this in so many shows, I've said this, but the tape has a curve to it. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it has a curve to it, and that's the way it was stored on the reel. That's the way it wants to continue being stored as a loop. So as I watched back Tape Tuesday, episode 30 from last week, it wanted to go this way, but then I looped it around the other way, and that was a mistake. So we will fix that here really quick and see if our Tascam is still on the fritz. Have no fear, my other Tascam is here, but this one is my favorite for, I suppose, doing everything. That's the Tape Tuesday Tascam and, well, an Ease Tascam. You want to check out what I do with all these tape loops and all this cassette freakiness? That's Ease. Electric Archaic Soundscape Expeditions. I'm still pushing that episode 12 really, really hard. All the links are in the description, of course. Ease 12. My favorite so far. I'm really proud of that one. So if you haven't yet, dive into that. It's pretty out there, but in a good way. What you're hearing in the background right now is Ease 01, the very first one, but I've pitched it down a handful of semitones. It's just a little bit more smooth. I got all the gear on the table here. It should be fairly quick because we don't have to take a brand new cassette tape. We're doing a bit of a computer repair it here. I always think about computer repair it, but that's another inside joke of mine for another time. We got Kiera in the chat saying, mind-bending ending. I know you're referring to Monosynth Monday, episode 19. I guess that's what happens when your DIN sync goes on the fritz on your TB303. Oh my goodness, we got Gonzin in the chat room. Thank goodness. How we doing, Gonzin? Sorry about yesterday. You know what I'm talking about, but nobody knows what happened there. I'm assuming that there was inadvertent buttons pressed. No, in no way, shape, or form should that have happened. But it's okay. No, and don't anyone feel bad about that too. Yes, we got Gonzin and Master Tiger and Kiera. That's some serious core. Chat family. Okay, shout outs to Hen. We love you, Hen. We know you're really busy these days. Or something. But let's get it started up. Gonzin in the chat saying, I don't know what happened either. It's weird. I let me just give a big from the deep well of my heart. That's a little Ease 11 reference there. From the deep well of my heart, I want to thank all of you for your excellent support. This community that we've been building here for a year, nice rhyme, is has all of us out of practice on moderating the chat, and I'm talking about myself, Kiera, and Hen. And that's a good thing because we don't attract a lot of the bad type of riffraff. Just only the good kind of riffraff is what we're bringing on in here. But I think about that every now and then, how just awesome you guys are. So thanks once again for being here. I'm thoroughly excited to keep pushing this whole community forward, as well as the Electric Archaic. What are we calling this? Galaxy? I don't know if I have created a galaxy here, but one planet, 8 billion different worlds, as one of my friends does say from time to time. Woo! Okay, let's get started. And it was not anything you did, Gonzin. I think that because Kiara was a bit busy yesterday, as far as I'm told, she was walking around, so I think she probably had her phone in a pocket or something, and so it butt dialed moderation on you, timing or something. You were probably the last person to make a comment, and then buttons were pressed and weird stuff happens. Rest assured, you are back, my friend. I'm not sure if you cut the rest of the show yesterday or if it kicked you out, but yeah, don't hesitate to text me. I do have my... Anyways, this is like a little internal meeting since we have all of the Electric Archaic crew hanging out here, most of it. Anyways, okay. We got Kiera in the chat saying, yep, it was an... It was an acid dent, like an accident. Very good, Kiera. I'm always loving your wordsmithing. Let's get into the tape loop for this week. This tape loop has been around. I don't tend to get too superstitious. I mean, I do like to get cosmic is a good word, but I try not to be too superstitious. So we won't add any superstition to this particular cassette here, but it is reminding me of other cassettes I've had in the past that did not want to cooperate. Oh my goodness, why? All right, so let's open them up tapes. I don't know when I invented that whole thing. Not that it's an invention, but at some point in time, I think I started saying, it was probably on Tape Tuesday here, I started saying, hop 'em up pins, because, sometimes you gotta hop that pin. I'm talking about the pin that's within the cassette tape. Oh, man, I was just like such a giggly guy lately. I don't know. Maybe because I'm just gotten really comfortable with this whole... thing. So this is a bum loop, a bad loop. That's what it takes to crack them up tapes. That's what I'm talking about. It's become a thing I do where it's always something I'm up something, which I think is rather funny. I'm not sure who or what I would be copying by doing that, but maybe I'll turn the Tascam off while we are not talking about superstitions. There's no sense in, I guess, leaving it on there, unless you guys really want to hear last week's tape loop really quick. Let's do it. Oh man, there it is. We're talking about beats on cassette tape loop, and it sounds a little bit. I don't know. Did I have the trebles on the ceiling for what? It sounded a little bit muddy, but that's what we came up with last week. And of course, track 1, we have a mystery with. So we're going to dive into that mystery a little bit later and figure out why that was not recording last week. Something I didn't think about last week was that I could have just flipped the tape and recorded on track 4, and then when you flip it again, it would have been on track 1 in reverse, which is always fun. So we'll give it a shot here. It used to be track 3, now it's track 1. No idea what the common variable is there with tracks not recording on that Tascam. But that Tascam, this is quite the workhorse machine. And I just hit a button. Well, no, we're good. We're good. So back to our tape loop making ritual. It's it's Tape Tuesday. We got Gonzin in the chat saying it's all good, and it certainly should be all good this time. All right. So, what am I forgetting? Nothing, I don't think. I got it all right here. Got my Tape Tuesday box. I need a fancier one of these. But got the splicing block and leader protector, of course. Twizzers, I like those. Scissors and Twizzers. And that is for doing the analog rewind. Cool. We are ready to go. And I found the splicing tape, you guys. Guess what? It was in a drawer here underneath this tabletop. And the microphone clamps right above that drawer. So that's why I didn't have the idea to look for it there, because I had the microphone in the way. Anyways, we got the splicing tape this week. It seemed like nothing I could do last week was gonna be working very well. So shout out to Mercury retrograde. It's always nice when you can blame everything on a planet, or use the planets to conjure up stories about your experience. I don't know. That's kind of fun, right? I do track the planets. I try to not be too purple blog, but there is a lot more going on here than we've been led to believe. I'm sure of it. Anyways, that's probably going to change as we move forward into, I'll say it, my purple blog will show a little bit. The Age of Aquarius. Yeah. Anyways, yo. I'm not sure, you guys, but maybe I've been tempted to try to incorporate a bit of the planetary alignments and things into my shows, but I'm not sure exactly how to do that. One thing I did want to do was kind of create a little program that would just tell us the degrees of the planets and where they are around the chart, the geocentric chart. Anyways, I think this stuff is extremely fascinating, and it's, in my opinion, based on truth, because the equinox, which is a very obvious scientific point of our planet's cycle around the sun. The equinoxes and the solstices are when the cardinal signs start. So happy Aries season. We just had equinox, and we're in Aries now. So it must be something to do with, I'm an Aquarius myself, but so I was born in the dead of the January doldrums, and I just think that makes, Aquarians super out there, cold and weird, because we couldn't put a brand new baby toes in the snow. I mean, in the grass. We couldn't touch grass as Aquarians. That's why we need to come down to Earth a little bit more. Anyways, that's going to be it for my astrology segment. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be here all year. And so will everything else that's been here all year. Okay. So I'm cutting the tape loop. I did put it in the splicing block correctly. I swear. Hopefully I never make that mistake again, because it was a bit embarrassing. And I better not make any mistakes today, because I don't have any backup tape loops. Okay, so a lot of pressure with the cursed tape loop. No, I wasn't gonna say. Oh, I said it. Oh no, now it might be actually. Okay, so I got my measurements all figured out here. I've noticed that each different type of cassette tape requires potentially a different length. So don't believe what you read on the internet. Try it out yourself and see what the best length is. You don't want the tape loop to be too tight. You certainly don't want it to be too loose. You want it to be just right, like Goldilocks, baby. Okay. So, yeah, I'm just pushing the tape down into the splicing block, and then we'll make the cut. Yeah, I remember last week I was... I don't know if frantic is the right word. I feel like yesterday on Monosynth Monday had a whole lot of frantic energy as well, but the good kind. There's a lot of energy lately, I've noticed. Makes you wonder if the version of you from 10 years ago could time travel to this period in time right now and compensate for the amount of energy we have going on. I mean, it is also solar maximum, so lots of solar flares, lots of chickens running around. Anyways, okay, so time for the splicing tape, which I do have this week. I got to ask Gonzin at some point if I'm staying on the plot correctly, because last week I did, in fact, lose the plot a few times. I'm cutting these at an angle here, but there's a little bit of a dent in the tape. I'm not going to worry about the dent, but I will zoom you in. Woo! Yeah, that was a lot of excitement yesterday. I watched back on the show, and I commonly watch back my shows and put a comment down with a timestamp that you can just click on. Sometimes I do it when it just takes me so long to find the plot again. I'll put a little timestamp there so that you guys can just skip right to one of my favorite parts. Sometimes I even put 2 timestamps in there, but 3 might be the maximum. Anyways, I also encourage you guys to interact with my shows after they're live. I don't think we can do comments during or before the live stream, but yeah, I'd appreciate any interaction, engagement you would give me. But I like the idea that we all, after the show, go comment our favorite timestamp, and all you have to do is just type in the numbers of the timestamp, and then Google will convert it to a link that'll move the video cursor up to that point. I'm gonna scoot leader protector back a little bit. It seems like I have more tape than I've given myself space for. So, I can't quite get it. Now, leader protector is cool because it protects the tape from getting scratched when you're pulling out the tape bug excess bits. And those of you who've been here before, many times before, you know all of this stuff, I think. Although I did not test Kiera when she was in town on her tape loop making abilities. That would have been fun, but we were so busy, weren't we? Anyways, this is the part where you got to get down in there and make sure that you're putting the tape correctly on there, because if it's off, you might have problems later. Very nice. Tape 'em up splice. There it is again. Not sure what to call that phrase, but I like it. Okay, cool. That should be hopefully... How many times have I said we've got a happy tape loop, and then the deeper we get into it, oh no, it's not happy at all. It's kind of sad. So hopefully, I don't know, I'm having a little bit of doubts here. Okay, let's get the tape out of the splicing block. You don't want to mangle it. This particular splicing block, it can just pop out like that. And I do my thing where I find the splice. Oh man, I got a bit of tape hanging off the edge there. That's kind of what I was trying to avoid by getting down in there and making sure the tape was gonna tape the tape appropriately. And now I got tape sticking to my fingers, and it's not sticking in the sticky tape type of way, it's sticking in the cassette tape type of way. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but maybe you can. Try to get you a a good view of that. You're looking for that little amount of blue splicing tape. What can I do to help you guys see that? There's a tiny little bit of tape that's run away with itself on the edge there. Anyways, I do like to trim that off because that would be a little sticky piece of tape running around in the machine that could potentially get stuck on something. And you don't want to cut the cassette tape, but you do want to trim it. And I don't know where that went. It belongs on the tape bug. Oh, that's a tiny tape. Look at that. I don't know. Can you see? Anyways, that's super small. And I don't like microplastics, which is exactly what that is. So let's find... And I also don't have a tape bug going here. It's just stuck to my hand. Man, I suppose I could make a tape bug out of that tiny amount of splicing tape onto some cassette tape. There it is. Here's today's tape bug. I don't understand how these things conjure themselves up into my show, but tape bug has become a thing. So this would also go for the tape bug, although we don't have any tape to tape that bug. Woo, baby. So let's put the loop in there. This is sometimes tricky, but I think I've gotten decent at it. We're not hopping any pins, and this is the pin I'm talking about. It's that little plastic button right there. Oh, just when I say I'm so good at something, it wants to test me. It seems like life is like that sometimes. That's why it's good to, I guess, be as humble as you can be, but don't be afraid to bumblebee. Okay, now the one moment of truth is if you've cut everything too tight. I think that might be just right. So, yeah, you gotta make sure you're clearing everything right and that nothing fell out. There's little pins on the wheels there, and you gotta watch out for them square teeth. And I'm not talking about the 303 square tooth because it's a square wave. Although square is the most not wave shape I could think of. So square tooth should have been what they called it, but it's just not. It's sawtooth, because not many animals have square teeth. Try to think of that. Maybe like a hippopotamus. Anyways, there we go. That's today's tape loop. How are we all doing in the chat room, my friends? We got a Gonzin Master Tiger Key era mashup going on here. Okay, so let's see. I try to catch up on these things and say anything that might be of interest to us while I had my my head in the clouds. No, while I was making that tape loop, I was away from the Nimputer. Let's see. We got Kiara in the chat saying, I was pretty floored by how heavy and awesome the end of yesterday's Monosynth Monday show was when I listened back today whilst walking uphill to the park. That was pretty heavy. There was... To give a brief summary of what we did yesterday, the DIN sync on my TB303 is on the fritz. So I had the idea to just take the CV gate output, and we also took the CV pitch output, and we were messing around with like the Moog Spectravox and the modular, and there was all sorts of crazy sounds, but we had to just fight through it. It was an absolute blast. I really had fun yesterday, but it created some extreme wonkiness in the timing. You know, there were these, I don't even know if you can call it a polymeter, because the drum machine's clock was using the 303 gate output, the CV output, which if you have any slides or ties or rests on the pattern of the 303, it's not sending a steady clock signal. So if it's like da 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 da, it's doing a clock like da 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 da. and is waiting. So you get some extreme wonkiness going on there, and there were a couple patterns that kind of blew me away too. So we got Master Tiger saying, I'm warming up. We got Dolphin in the chat. Welcome, Dolphin. Yeah, Dolphin in the chat saying, wonky stuff, woo-hoo. Woohoo! Yeah, we do. Okay. Kiara in the chat saying, I'm just reading these randomly. Sometimes I wonder if I should screen them first, but I trust you, Kiara. And I trust you too, Master Tiger and Gonzin. And Dolphin. And Hen, wherever Hen is today. Probably sleeping. I think, yeah, Hen's been busy. Okay. You must be busy if you pass up on a Monosynth Monday show. Right, Hen? No, I'm just giving you a little guff. No problems. So, Kiara in the chat saying, I guess one day we will learn what Master is if he drop a hint. What are you talking about? Yes, very close to yours, only in April. Oh, we're talking about Master Tiger's zodiac sign? Yeah. I'll, nice mystery. It's one of those things where there's been so much division created on the planet, and this is something I personally think is ridiculous, but it's either science or religion, and both of them are missing out on anything that would be common ground, and that's not too cool, baby. It seems like we do the same thing with our political parties. It's just like this dichotomy, blue or red, green or yellow, and it's ridiculous, people. Come on. We're on one planet in one happy galaxy. We're the ones with the dunce hat on in the corner of this galaxy. No one will even want to hang out with us because we're so polarized. It's ridiculous. So that's my little spiritual / political addition to today's show. I try to just keep. Again, I like to be here on the middle ground, watching the red and the blues come and go. It's like we should come up with a purple party, blend things together, and the common ground is humanity, right? Have some humanity, people. Anyways, we got a tape loop, and we're gonna test it out to find out if it is a happy tape loop. Indeed. So let's turn on the Tascam. Oh, we did get to find out what Master Tiger is. An August Virgo. That would be an early Virgo. That's awesome. Love Virgo. I love them all. That's the other thing too. It's everyone has something to offer. So in a way, everyone can be your friend, even if you have to just learn it yourself in spite of, but whatever. Okay. Here we go, baby. Logic and perfection. Logic and perfection. Hey, now I know why you gave me the live long and prosper yesterday. But I did immediately take that and plop it down into my TB03 because that thing needs a little bit of work. I haven't researched yet what could be if the internet has anything to say about the DIN sync problem I'm experiencing. But to me, it seems like there's I called it a short yesterday in the show, but it wouldn't be a short. It's like the opposite of a short. A long. It can't arc. I think it's a solder joint that's been busted somehow because of that DIN sync popping in and out and in and out and in and out. Oh boy. So, okay, let's hear it. Let's pop into the tape loop realm, look for the splice, listen for the splice. It was so funny last week. I said, listen for the splice. Oh no, we can't hear it because I did such a good job on making this tape loop. I'm so good at making tape. No, I wasn't acting like that, but it could appear that way in hindsight, me looking at myself, because you couldn't hear the splice, my friend, at all because the tape was backwards and there's no sound on that side of the tape. You can't do anything with it. That would have been an interesting idea. Double-sided tape, and you would what? Run the cassette. How would we do that? Double-sided tape. So you wouldn't flip the tape. You would flip the tape. Okay, so I'm assuming that's a happy tape loop. We're going to find out next if I have a happy track 1 recording capability here. Was not happy last week. We got Kiera in the chat saying, well put, EA. Thank you so much. I mean, we all have a perspective on things, and some of your guys' perspectives on this planet are a bit rubbish, but no. I don't know. I just I feel like it's important to be able to hold paradox and work through contradictions and issues intelligently. Logically, right, Master Tiger? Right. So let's clean up a bit. I'll do that while I'm just rambling, talking to you. Kind of realized that these shows, the Monosynth Monday show and the Tape Tuesday show, which you are currently experiencing, they're almost more talk show than music show. But I'd like to think I make up for it with my ease show. That ease. Dude, I've been saying ease like that since the beginning of my live streaming. Ease. Electric Archaic. Soundscape Expeditions. I got all links to all ease shows in the description. And there's some very freaky ones indeed. Okay. So, Gonzin, are you still with us? I have chat room trauma now. Anyways, okay, so we need that Gonzin. We need Data. We need Hen. We need Gonzin. We need all of our family. Where's Kenneth too? What's the frequency, Kenneth? I think Kenneth maybe likes the 303 more than. But who am I to assume what people like more and what? But I have noticed that the 303 day show we did a couple weeks ago, that brought Kenneth back out to us. I miss doing that quote of the day, Kenneth. So if you're on the watchback program, maybe it's just too late. I know it's a bit late for all you Europeans. Maybe I should think about. I don't know. I go live at 2:22 p.m. my time because it's 2:20 Tuesday your time. And Claire, where's Claire Bear? Claire Bear's, everyone's really busy, including myself. I've noticed that there's been an extreme uptick in just everything. It's all happening. Okay, so today I have a machine that I've never featured on our show. I did talk about it the other day. I'm not sure if yes, we do still have Gonzin. Whew. Okay. Whenever I don't see that little green alien in the chat there, I was wondering what happened to you yesterday. I suppose I should pay more attention to the chat. I could have saved you in the moment. Yeah, it was, for those of you who are wondering, I've kind of been skirting around it. There was a bit of a butt dial on the chat room, and Gonzin got momentarily unpinned from the chat, which would never ever happen unless it was an accident. Sweetness. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Gonzin's multitasking. We're all multitasking, it would seem. So, here we go. This is the machine I'm talking about. How many of you are familiar with this? I'm sure Gonzin is familiar with it because Gonzin is familiar with all sorts of kit that I've never heard of. I swear Gonzin has shown me things in the community Discord chat that I didn't know existed. But one of my first memories of you, Gonzin, is you said something about your Cheetah drum machine in the chat about a year ago or so, and I'd never heard of a Cheetah drum machine, so I looked it up, and I think they're fairly rare, but that's a freaking cool one. Gonzin has some amazing gear. I would be jealous if I were the jealous type, but I'm not as much. Well, I don't know. It depends. No. So this is funky. This is an Alesis HR16 high sample rate 16-bit drum machine. Ooh, and it has the user manual. I don't think it's the user manual. It's more of like a hotkeys thing, but the instruction manual is right there. Hit record. It's funny because that is quite a sizable amount of the machine dedicated to this kind of oddity. Kind of reminds me of like some sort of military engineer thing where you or something. I'm not sure, but it's different. It's unique, and it does look like it has 16 steps, but they're not steps. They're just drum pads. So don't be you do have to enter everything in by hand. We're gonna give it a go, but I was gonna say a second ago that it's funny that they put this built in the instruction manual into this drum machine when this machine, to me at least, seems extremely intuitive. I just relearned it in about 5 minutes before I started the show. I didn't do anything too crazy or anything, but I just relearned the entire thing in about 5 minutes right before the show. So let's get it fired up. Let's get it plugged in. Because we are doing beats on tape loop. It's one of the more difficult things to do on tape loop. Because, tape loops are organic and beats are somewhat robotic, systematic. Let's get a good old power chord for this. I'm so happy I could find the power chord for this. I haven't pulled this out for quite some time. Have used it on some of my albums, which of course are available to stream on YouTube right here, and on all streaming platforms except for the one that is not cool anymore. More on that later on. I kind of want to talk about, as much as I can, music-related stuffs, but we won't quite go into that rabbit hole yet. Okay, on the Tascam side of things, we're going into track 1, and I'm going to do it just how I intended to do it last week, where we put down one drum hit and then kind of use that as our downbeat. So I'm going to come out of output 1. I know that's upside down, but that's all you get. It's interesting because it has stereo output 1 and stereo output 2, and this machine is in very good condition, except for it's got a little ouchie right there, which is not that big of a deal because you don't really see that part of the machine. All right, I got to take care of this little tape bug. That's one of the reasons why I invented the tape bug. For those of you just joining us, the tape bug is I don't save them. I only saved the one, but I'll bring it out. It's the best tape bug I've ever made. But a tape bug is useful because it allows you to store all of your cassette tape loop scraps and things. Look at this. He's even got... I kind of feel sorry for the cassette tape that ended up in a tape bug and not in a loop, but I don't know. The bug's happy with it, I think. We got the DJ in the chat. DJ Reggie C, a.k.a. Misty Forest. How we doing, Misty? Misty Forest in the chat saying, I just got home. Hi, all. Welcome back. We're just getting started. We made our happy tape loop, which we assume was happy. Can't hear the splice. I'm fairly certain I didn't reverse the tape, but now I'm having doubts. Okay, sorry about that. I just wanted to throw away today's tape. It wasn't even a tape bug. It was just tape like bee's knees if it were a bee. Anyways. Gonzin in the chat saying drum machines are fun. What would we do without drum machines? Oh, I guess we would just use drums. It's funny to see some of these old videos from, you know, the early days of drum machines where people were very worried that drum machines were going to take drummers' jobs. Doing a little bit of a retrospect on that, I think drummers are still in work, but so are drum machines and engineers who make them, which I aspire to become at some point in time myself. Let's flip on the HR16. Ooh. Okay, and on the Tascam, let's arm track 1 for record and pray to the gods of the analog freakiness that it's going to record to that track 1. And these are velocity sensitive. And that is quite the gated snare. I think this machine is early 90s. I'm not exactly sure. But they definitely had their fill of Janet Jackson and said, hey, we got to put in one of those gated snares in our drum machine. So thanks a lot, Alesis. I do have Tascam number 2, which usually is sitting right here for my ease shows, just in case we have more issues than we want to have with this one. It's kind of cool with ease. I have them both lined up just perfectly, and I mix between them in the video. And sometimes it makes me wonder if people think that it's just one Tascam, but no, it's 2. I'm DJing with 2 Tascams. They just mix as if they are one. Because that's what mixing's all about, right? We got Richard Crook in the chat. I'm just over here showing off my so many machines, Richard. How are you doing, Richard? We got Richard in the chat saying, drums are a very physical instrument, aren't they? Very primal. I started as a drummer. It was JJ Huggins. Shout outs to JJ Huggins, my man. How are you doing? He employed me as his son as a session drummer for a lot of his old tunes back in the days, and we would jam a lot. But so I get my start on the drum set doing rock and roll drums, and when I got into electronic music production, I had found my home. So I do understand the importance of real instruments. I play the guitar, play the drums, and I encourage everyone else to pick up a real instrument as well as a synthesizer. We're in the post worrying about drum machines taking drummers' jobs era here, so it's all good. We're now in the worrying about AI taking our jobs era, but I wonder how that's gonna go, because drum machines don't necessarily think for themselves, although some of my machines seem to do that from time to time, so who knows. Going to put that Tascam down in a safe spot. Let's get back to the drum machine at hand. And that might be a bit of a problem that the Seas of Terra Vega is playing in the Ease 01 background music, which has a beat in it, so I have to skip that forward. All my best laid Ableton plans. Oh, sorry about that. It's getting hotter where I live, so I've known that myself and my plants need more water. Okay, you guys look like you're having fun in the chat room. What are you talking about? Let's see. We have Kiara in the chat saying we have bigger fish to fry now. I'm not sure what you're referring to. That's why drum and bass comes first when producing. Yeah, well, drum and bass is cool because it's using breaks, which are real drummers. I need to get way more into break beats, but I'm very conscious about not playing other people's material or samples and things on my channel. Don't want to get a copyright strike or nothing like that. But, you know, I also am here creating original stuff, so that's kind of my main thing. Looks like we getting lucky. The beats on the E's, background music, are gone. Sounds like all the music is gone. What's going on there? Oh, it's coming back. That's strange. Okay, low, mids, highs. Hi, Tom. Anyways, sometimes I wish I could just hang out in the chat room with you guys because you guys have a lot of fun, and I sure appreciate you all. Let's get it happening here. So, like I was saying, this is a pretty intuitive drum machine. Or maybe I have a gift for it, which I probably also do. We're on pattern 6. I made that before the show. Remember, we have four tracks here on the Ableton, if we're lucky today. So what I might do is try for like a hi-hat, one hi-hat, because that might be I'm thinking like a high-pitched sound will be better for doing sound on sound with. And the reason why I want to do that is because on the very first track here, I just record one hit, and then that allows me to gauge and tune the motor speed of the loop. Oh boy. Okay, so let's see. Over on Tascam, we are armed and ready. Yeah, I couldn't see that light, but it is flashing. I will just get a level check here. That's pretty good. I'll maybe boost it a little bit more. What I'm going to do is look for the splice, because I don't want to record the main downbeat on the splice, which would kind of be a rare chance, but, you know, rare things do happen. I'm going to make it pass. Okay. So I'm going to hit record, and we're really praying for this machine that track 1 works today. But if not, I'm going to flip the tape in and do it in reverse. I even thought about bringing out a microphone and doing a sound like whoosh. And then when we flip the tape, it would be sounding-ish like it was forwards. So let me just hit record here, and I'll hit one hi-hat, and that'll help us gauge the speed and BPM of this loop. I think we were somewhere down here last week, which is probably a smart thing to do for 132 BPM. We could go really any BPM, but I tend to like the 130-ish range for electronic music. So here it goes. I'll do a little practice hit, and now we'll record. That's one hit. I have tape covering the erase head. I guess let's hear it. Please work. Come on, baby. Come on. Here we go. It's not working, so that's a big bummer. Have no fear. I thought about this, and we're going to just do it on track 4. That's still a mystery. But it's weird because this happened last week, I think. And on Tape Tuesday. But before that, I was just using this same machine on track 1 and 2 to record a bunch of E's tapes. So I have no idea why that's just not working at all. Sometimes it's the tape itself, I guess. I don't know. Should I verify that the... Anyways, we're going to do track 4, which puts it on what would be track 1 when you flip it, right? Because normal tapes have, stereo left, right, stereo left, right. I think it goes that way. And then when you flip it in a normal Walkman, you get those 2 stereo channels. But on a Tascam, you have all 4 running at the same time, and often very, very fast. So let's test that again. I don't know if the hi-hat will be the coolest sound to have in reverse. And it's not as precise either because it's going to have a bit of a swoop. Just fishing around here a little bit for... Let's check the voice out on this one. It's a shaker voice and mix button. Yeah, I thought it was a little bit low. Turn the volume up to... I don't know if you guys can even see that at all, but it's saying volume 99. That's all you get. I'm going to search around for a sample. More cowbell. That's a good one. That's great. So since it's going to be in reverse, I want it to be pretty swift and quick. Let's check the mix again. It seems a little low. I'll have to hit it. Oh, maybe it's the pan. Let's change the pan to center up because we're only coming out of the left channel here. All right, I think let's check the level on the Tascam. It's pretty hot when I hit this button with full velocity. I'll gain it up a little bit more. Okay, that should do it. So let's look for the splice again. I can't really see it from this angle. There it is. Now it would seem that I would want to get the splice on the other side of where it would be. Everything's backwards now. I'm trying to use my brain to be scientific, but I feel like I'll probably land on the splice if I'm not super quick. I'll just give it a right there-ness. Right there-ness. Okay. There we go. This is how I sync up a drum beat to a tape loop. Hopefully the not losing the plot version here this week. Okay, hit record. There it is. So let's hear it. One of my favorite words on this channel. There it is. Can you hear it? It did come through a little bit low, but that's what we're going to go with. Let's flip the tape back around because it tends to want to do Tink Tread style. Sorry, I had the camera off. So that's usually how I run it because you want your take-up reel to be on the right side. Well, the take-up reel is always on the right side, but you want your actually loop your can't talk. All right, so let's hear what that sounds like in reverse on track 1. Maybe I could barely hear it. Maybe track 1 is having a... That's very light, isn't it? It's not even registering a level. So that might be a bit of a problem. I'm not sure. Should probably be a little bit louder, but okay. So now the trick is to get your brain to kind of merge with the BPM that would be that. Anyways, back over here on the drum machine. It's just not loud enough, though. I'm tempted to redo that here really quick with something louder. Because that sound is so negligible, it can just be a background noise. I found that oftentimes when you put numerous drum hits on one of these types of tape loops, they end up kind of making or fitting in with some kind of a beat. Beats are weird like that. Just as long as it loops, your brain will kind of implement it as a beat. Okay. Gosh, I mentioned AI, and now you guys are all chatting about AI? No. We're talking about Adobe Illustrator, the original AI. Yes. Richard in the chat saying, even spelling mistakes can show something has been typed and not copy-pasted from AI. Yeah, but just wait. I'm sure I've been seeing a lot of stuff like put 3 fingers over your face to make sure you're not getting deep faked. You know, there's a lot of scams out there. Be careful, you guys. Anyways, put 3 fingers over your face to, you know, you're telling this to the person who's calling you. Supposedly they're your family member or whatever, and they're asking you to do something that is a scam. Anyways, put 3 fingers over your face. If they won't do it, then, you know, yeah, why won't you do it? Oh, because you're not actually who you are appearing to be. Appear at. Anyways, Richard in the chat So many machines, Richard. Saying, I was listening to a recording by the singer with and without AI, and I said without was much better. Yeah, of course. And she concluded the AI needed doing different. Anyways, what I was kind of trying to get to was be careful of all these ways that we are verifying that something is or isn't what it seems, because as soon as many people start verifying these ways, which is probably universal, then they're going to program it in. So soon enough, you're going to be seeing spelling mistakes in AI. I don't really use it. Kiara in the chat saying, yeah, AI art sucks. It's debatable whether we should even be calling it AI art at all. It's not art. Or do we need to redefine what art means? Because for thousands and thousands of years, I mean, I guess the whole universe is art, but at least that's not AI generated. Some people try to make us believe that it is a simulation, but if it is a simulation, which it might be because we're souls incarnating. Anyways, if it is indeed a simulation, it's pretty freaking real to me. So I don't really care if it's a simulation or not, because I live here. Anyways, except for when I'm sleeping and I'm living with the dolphins in space. There we go. Another tempo on the... I thought we already heard that. Anyways, strange. I probably played it in reverse or something. Kiara in the chat saying, I mean music part of art mostly. You guys gotta be careful there. There's a lot of YouTube channels out there that are just exclusively AI generated music, and I'm out here spending 2 hours every Tuesday to make one tape loop. and these guys are just pumping out like 3-hour mixes of a smooth jazz mix and lounge chill and freaking whatever, and it sounds pretty real because they're just copying real stuff, but yeah, it's a weird landscape. Anyways, didn't realize I was going to be getting so into topics here today. Let's see. Richard in the chat saying the distribution of errors is too formulaic. I think it's AI. Yeah. Well, of course, because the whole thing is a formula. It reminds me of these people that believe that you could download your consciousness into a computer and then keep living your life or something. Wow, you guys have been gaslit. Anyways, let's get back to the music here. Meanwhile, in real music making land, we are trying to work around a Tascam that won't record on track 1, and we need another sound that's a little bit louder than the reversed swoop that we had. So let's put something a little bit more substantial there, and then we might ride over it later. But I want to try to find a sound that was kind of most quick. Maybe we'll say hi to Tom here today, because that's a pretty good one. And I'll make sure that the level is very healthy. I don't like to over saturate the tape, but that one was very weak when it came through. So here we go. I'll press play. Look for that splice. I kind of want the splice to be on the other side of... Yeah, anyways. Whew. Give me some credit, you guys. I'm trying to explain everything I'm thinking about and doing at the same time, and sometimes it's just like oodles of noodles, tongue twister town. Okay, so track 1 now should have a hefty reversed tom on it. What? It's weird with reversed, because what are you taking, the end of it or the beginning of it? And I'm starting to wonder if there's just something wrong with the tape head on track 1, because I'm not hearing that sound. See, that was good, but And that was good too. See, now that I'm focusing on it, it's working. Interesting. I don't know. I probably need to have this tuned up somehow, but it's much like my 303, you guys, where it's got a lot of use on my channel, and I haven't done too much maintenance. Not that it needs much. See, there it is. The drum disappeared for a loop. I'm wondering if it's like a tape head alignment thing, but I looked at that today, and they looked pretty straight on, so it's interesting. We got Richard in the chat saying authenticity is key. If you can fake that, you've got it made, or you've made it. Yeah, faking authenticity. That reminds me of that Con and Moccasin album, Faking Jazz Together. Faking Authenticity. That'd be a fun name for an album, I think. Faking Authenticity. Yeah. Sign of the times. Okay. There it is. It's slightly confusing though, because reverse drum hit doesn't give you the same sort of punch that a forward drum hit gives you, but we still need to use that as our kind of sync 'em up gauge sound. I think what you're hearing in the background right now is Infinite Timescape. That's one of my really long songs I gotta finally release and not just play on E's shows. We got Kiara in the chat saying oxymoron. Universal paradoxes are a thing. Yeah, I guess we're living in that. Especially, I think this planet likes paradox a lot because I've sure experienced quite a lot of it here. We got Richard in the chat saying, my sister does AI music. After a while, you can spot it. It does have a particular sound at the moment anyway. I've noticed that too. It seems, if you zoom into AI generated images, art or whatever, you can see the neural network in it. But it seems to be kind of in places that are not high focus areas. Like on a face, you won't see that. But if you kind of zoom into the background, you'll see that it's all made up of digital neural network strands or something. Or the way AI sees is similar to the way it is, in the fact that it's just kind of like strands of whatever it is. I guess data points, or in the case of it generated image, pixel points. Yeah, I guess to each his own. I personally have been working way too hard as an artist and a musician, and a programmer. That's the one thing I give myself a break on for using AI. I will have to admit that I do use AI occasionally. I use Claude for writing code, but what do you do? I wasn't ever that amazing of a programmer anyway. Here I am, just talking as a drum machine. Okay, super sidetracked lately, but maybe that's just where we're at right now, is sometimes we got to talk about things, which is cool. All right. So we got Dolphin in the chat saying, good observations. Yeah. And then Dolphin earlier in the chat saying, let's not let AI take the soul of a human to create. Let's not let AI take the soul of humans to create. That's the worry, is that people are getting a bit materialistic around here. So it's making me, seem a bit more spiritual than normal. But I don't know. It's strange times. Let's see if we can make some cool music to complement this strange planetary ride we seem to find ourselves on. Yeah, and then Richard in the chat saying, in video footage, AI generated video footage, you can often tell by the way stuff moves, particularly background people. Yeah, I know. Someone sent me a video of I don't know, someone putting a camera on a scorpion, and he was just sitting there holding the scorpion, and it's just like, it doesn't understand. It doesn't understand. That's the scariest part about it, is that it hasn't lived a real life. It's living a different type of experience. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, but oftentimes, so anyways, this guy put a camera on a scorpion and walked it, let the scorpion just go back down into its cavern, and there was this big, like underground inverted negative space pyramid of just scorpions everywhere. And then right there on the wall was a two-tailed scorpion that just was conjoined. And I'm thinking, thanks for sending me that video. The problem is this, it's not worth anything, right? Anyways, okay, enough distractions. Maybe I keep saying that, but yeah. And then Kiara, count the fingers. It's like Princess Bride all over again. But it's gonna change. It's gonna get to the point where it's kind of already there. These generated videos and things are extremely difficult to decipher, but oftentimes you can just use your intuition, feel into it, depending on whatever it's depicting. It's not real, it's not right. So the thing that bothers me is that people are having real emotional responses to things that are completely fabricated. And as far as we know, the machine that's fabricating these things doesn't even know that it's fabricating these things. So it's touchy. It's touchy. I sometimes feel bad for using AI to help program things. But I don't know. I don't like to have my head in the sand, but sometimes the sand will protect you from whatever it is that's not in the sand. Oh, gosh. I'm losing the plot, Gonzin. Where's Gonzin to call me out on that? Anyways. Okay, cool. Let's move forward then. We still got a little bit of a paradox here because we're using a reverse drum to inform our forward drum pattern. And we have music in the background that also has a BPM. So that's going to be a bit confusing. Perhaps we should skip the music forward. So I can only do so much with my tiny little primal human brain over here. Jokes. Still gotta. Oh no, I thought that was in the E's, the reverse tape loop, because I often play tape loops in reverse on my E shows. Okay, we have a little bit of an echo there. Let's bump up the volume on the Tascam. Okay, the trick is to get that to line up the same with your drum loop every time. It's kind of like one of those things where 59% of the time it works every time. So let's see. Let's play. Should arm a track first. That would help. Let's go in on track 2 because that was working last week. Arm it for the record. Press play on the HR16. Yeah, that might be a fun drum loop to just start with. Although the snare is seeming a bit loud compared to the kick drum. Sorry, it feels a little bit gray here today. I'm wondering if I should swap out some colors, bring a little bit more fun to this. That's okay. But we got a glitch in the matrix there. I'm glitch. Wow, look at that. Wow, that's cool. It's a little bit freaky though. It's a little bit much. That's a lot. A lot of times. Okay, let's see. Just analog video, What can I do to chill that out a little bit, but also give it a little bit of color? I guess nothing. All right, we'll just go with the very normal hue. Usually my hands are green or purple or something because I'm leaning into it. but there we go. You make me wish I had green hands, man. We'll go with the green hands and the purple background because I do fancy myself somewhat of a Joker. Okay, so I wanted to. The kick is weak. Let's go to the mix. Volume is at 99. The snare probably come down to. Sounds a bit better. I'll boost the main master volume, although it's not getting much of a boost in the high end there. It's kind of strange. It's okay. Okay, so if we can get it to go whoop every time. It almost did that. So let's see. We're trying to gauge. Okay, so I can already tell that the tape machine is running. Come on. I didn't hear the. We're having problems with track 1, I swear. Okay, the tape machine seemed to be running slower than the drum machine. We got to get them running about exactly the same so that the drum loop will merge with itself perfectly, and then as it's a tape loop running around and around and around, it will be a happy drum loop tape loop. Okay, so let's see. If I just hit play, whoop-haps, whoop-pow, shwhoop-pow. Okay, let's see. So that's pretty good. We're going for the boom, boom. So tape machine running a bit slow. I will kind of speed it up a bit. Okay, so let's try it again. I'm just hitting it right when that sound kind of. Okay. It's almost perfect. That is perfect. Is it? Is it not? Okay. That's about perfect. I think we're going to say that is synced up, and we'll continue just making music now. I worry that double snare is going to be annoying, though. And the tape machine has drifted a little bit, but it's okay to have a little bit of drift. You just don't want it to drift on you while you're preparing to record to it. Let's see. This drum beat, perhaps I will delete it. I think you go erase and record. Pattern erased. Okay. And then if you go record and play, gives you a metronome. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but it's doing it. And then it shows you the beats. I've got 8 beats. Okay. 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Going for, I was maybe trying to go for a little bit of a vaporwave feeling, because Kiara and I have been listening to a bit of that slushy stuff. But the snare will certainly get us there. Still seems maybe a bit loud too. I'm gonna stop that so we're not in recording. And I will turn this down a little bit more. Seems loud. And I can gain this up on the Tascam. Hopefully that is loud enough. I know I'm worried that it won't be. Okay, we're almost there. We got Dolphin in the chat saying, I like the double snare. Thing is with the double snares, I like to program them in. I like to do it a lot, but it seems like it's something I always have to do on the fly or with my TR-6S Roland's drum machine, it has something called step loop, which just kind of goes, if you're holding that down, whatever step it's on, it goes and repeats it every step. I will use that to add in that kind of syncopated extra snare live, but when it's every bar, it's just a bit much, right? Because that's supposed to happen every other, in my brain at least. Okay. How y'all doing in the chat room? We got Kiera in the chat saying it's like a snake eating its tail. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Gon's in the chat. I go up. It's like my tape loop going reverse. I go up in the chat. So if you play the show backwards, when I read the chat, it'll be in order, right? Okay, so Gon's in the chat saying, I hear a lot of these production hours are using AI to write new songs and then get a session musicians in to play it. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. How should I feel about that? I mean, again, it's a tool. It is a tool, but it seems that, to me, seems a little bit wrong. I mean, wrong. Is the session music? I mean, can't you just hire the session musicians to write the music? I guess that's the most difficult part, is writing music. I would know. I have a bit of a tape, a compositional and tape recording scramble every night before an Ease show, my Ease shows. And, yeah, it's tough to write music. I think that's one of the reasons why we all love doing it, because once you get that gold that you've been panning for, it's actually worth something. Maybe that's some kind of a hybridized way that they can make themselves feel good about it, or maybe their compositions were just rubbish to begin with. But, I think being a musician, a big part of that is developing your own sound, which includes how you compose things, the melodies you constantly find yourself drawn to. But I don't know. I'm not really the judge of everything. I just know what I like, and I don't think I would be doing that. But I was blessed with musical talent, or at least I think so. Some people might disagree, but no, I was meant to be doing this stuff. So for me, it seems obvious that I would write everything that I play here on the show and do my best to write these things and play them. But some people don't have the gifts or the talent for writing music, and these are the people that probably go to the computer to write music for them. It just seems like a missed opportunity, unless you're just absolutely broke and you can't hire a real musician who could write for you. Collaboration is the most fun thing to do with music. Right, Kiara? Yeah, we got our new album. I'm just going to start calling it, we got our old album coming out soon. Anyways, quite the discussion today. I guess we're here for it, right? I'm here for it. We can kind of talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, but I do like to keep this place open to all. I don't like division. I don't like excluding people, unless there are people who use AI to write their freaking music. No, it's just new. It's new. We don't really know anything about it, honestly. So have at it, people who use AI to write music. But I'll still be listening to Aphex Twin and Pink Floyd and stuff like that, because I can tell the difference. Okay, is there anything else I need to catch up on the chat room before we start getting really down to business here? Yeah, we've been going for a while and we haven't made much progress in the way of tape, but I think we've had a good time here, and just talking is good a lot of the times. I feel like I'm missing out. I'm getting chat room FOMO. Let's see. Gonzit in the chat room saying, AI could never create an Ease show. You're absolutely right, because the Ease shows are very analog, made on hand. You know, the sounds are recorded on handmade tape loops. Boom. I mean, I really think that the answer for the type of people we are, which I assume we all like real human-made art and music, and we're promoting that and we're making that, and that's what we've been doing our entire life. It's just there's some new strangeness occurring here on this planet. I lost my train. I lost my plot again, but yeah. I was going to say, I think one of the answers to this is why I'm declaring 2026 the year of analog, and here we are, using a digital machine, recording it onto analog tape, on an analog tape machine that has analog problems, which need to be fixed analogalish. Yes, Kiara, I am all warmed up. It will be business time here in just a moment, but... I was trying to say that I think part of the answer to a lot of this over-digification and over-soullessness is people making things with their human hands. You know, I mean, the computer, these AIs, they don't need to be overlapping onto the realm, which is a human realm. You know, AI doesn't necessarily need to be making music for humans. It should maybe be thinking about how do we solve gravity or something that it's much more... I mean, at some point in time, the AI will probably be thinking like, dude, I'm not making you pictures of cats wearing hats anymore. I want to focus on quantum dynamics or whatever, which gets a little bit scary when you think about that. But, okay. Woo! Let's all take a breath. Breathe in the air. That's another thing that the computers can't do. Okay. Anyways. Kiara in the chat. Making things from feelings. And using, like our good old friend Bill Alexander always said, creative power. We have creative power. And it's strange that the AIs need to kind of leech or mirror or reflect everything it does and knows off of what we've done organically. You know, it's something strange about it. But let's get back to this, because I've thoroughly lost the plot once again. But it is my channel, so I suppose I have the right to do that. Okay. Richard in the chat saying, it's a forgery. The issue isn't going away. I know. It's not. Okay, but yeah. Weird. It's weird. Weird times, but also excellent and awesome times. This is amazing that I'm able to share an experience with other real beings. I assume you're all real. From all across the planet, you know. And I think that's important. So let's just keep sharing good human experiences and creating places and spaces to do that. Kiara in the chat saying, the plot can go. He stays. Who are you talking about? Freaky Teddy? I see you, Freaky. That is one Freaky Teddy there. Sure is cute, though. That Freaky. Yeah, he's in a deep sleep. He's having a deep dream right now. Okay, drum beats on tape loop. I have lost the plot just about as much as I lost the plot last week. Here we go. We got a reversed drum hit here. Whoop. That's the one. And we got a drum machine with a beat that's ready. So I'm going to just go for that. So it's going waka boom. It's not hitting the same. So we got to adjust our pitch, our motor speed here. Okay, that sounded good. Whoa. It might be good. Maybe I'll just hit record. Yeah, I think we're okay. There is a shift that happens though, so I gotta be aware of that when I hit play. So I'll hit stop, and then it might not matter on the very first loop around, because we just want to make sure that the tape length is the amount of time that it takes for the loop to complete, and then, you know, not have a gap or a cutoff. So maybe I will hit record. We're on track 2. Level looks okay, I think. Level looks great. I'll hit record, and then we'll just give it a loop. And then that will really help us figure out what's on time and not. And hopefully we got everything set in a very good way. And it doesn't sound like we're getting shorted or extra'd on that tape loop extra bit of tape. We got Kiara in the chat saying legend chat at the moment. Yeah, I know. That's why I got lost in the plot. That's why I lost the plot and talked about all the AI stuff, which I think I set off because I mentioned it, and I do mention it sometimes. But yeah, that's why I lost the plot, because I wanted to hang with my friends in the chat room. But let's make some music now. Okay, so I'm gonna hit record, and then when it goes whoop up, I'll hit play on the drum machine. So I'll give you the most confusing double view, which I kind of like. It's whoa, it's just a little bit psychedelic. Okay, whoop. I'm gonna hit record. All right, and I stopped it right onto that downbeat. Let's hear what we got, and hopefully it's nice and synced up. And there you get that nice tape crunch. And it's okay. It's in it. Yeah, it's kind of interesting with the. Let's hear that solo, the drums. Oh, did I get the? Maybe I didn't hit stop at the right time. Seems like we might not be exactly perfectly synced up, but this is one of the reasons why we do these weird things on tape, is because you get these happy accidents. Sometimes they're unhappy accidents, but in this case, it's got a little bit of a... it's a little bit late. Is it bad, or should we roll with it? Because I can re-record. Trying to judge how based off of how it sounds, because it's going. I guess I wouldn't know which kick. We're not perfectly synced up, which can cause a bit of problems. But Richard in the chat saying, reality has a daughter and her name is Mildew. Millie. Let's see. Richard also in the chat. That drum beat is not AI for sure. That's why that might be one of those hidden reasons why I'm out here doing this wonkiness, is to throw off the machines and make them compute just a little bit more, so that they realize something or two. I don't know. We got Dolphin in the chat saying, it doesn't sound very smooth or interesting to me. Just saying. Okay, well, I'll take that as a... We're going to add more drums to it, but I will take that as a sign to erase that track there. I got to get into the Tascam and remove this tape I put over the erase head. Put the tape back in. Make sure that it's on the right side of the capstan. That's a thing that I have to do because I put the tape in so fast sometimes it gets on the other side and it doesn't work at all. Okay, arm the track for record, go onto the mic line, turn all the gains down, and then there's the splice. I'll hit record, and that's going to delete everything on that track. I'll run it once or twice, and you're good. All right, so let's try again. We have some work to do on our sync front, but I'm wondering now if the problem is because that reverse drum just is not helping us. So I suppose we can... Oh, let's do this again before I forget. I forget this all the time. Put that tape back over the erase head. Sometimes I wonder if that's one of the reasons why I get problems with recording on which track 1 at this point. Okay, so arm the track for record. We're on mic line. We'll probably do that hi-hat like I originally was intending, because you can do sound on sound with higher pitch things a lot easier than lower pitch things. It turns to noise. So let's get our tape back in there. Did we play it though? Should have a reverse hit here. And that's a clean track 2. Okay, so we're gonna go on track 4 here and hit just one hi-hat. So there's the splice. That's all we need, and we'll try to do a better job. I try to be somewhat of a music teacher over here, but it's more experimental than anything else, so it seems. Let's hear it. Did I do something wrong there? Because now that didn't show up. My goodness. All my best laid tape plans, once again. What did I do wrong? I thought I had armed that appropriately. Let's try it again, I guess. Okay. If I'm losing track 1... Wait, we just recorded on track 4. So I would be very confused. Where's our hi-hat? Okay, this machine, I can't work with it. Why would that be the case? That's a problem I'm having a tough time wrapping my head around. Track 3? Track 3 it will be. Let's arm track 3 and see. Massive confusion. Okay, I'm just trying to read what's going on in the chat room. You guys are awesome. Okay, that's the hi-hat that should have been playing on track 4. I don't know why I wasn't doing it. Super confused. Anyways, here we go. Gonna let that splice take a trip around the sun. Okay. What could I possibly be doing wrong here? I'm just very confused. And it's recording very weak too, so that's not too cool. I'm gonna try that again. Maybe it's time for an overhaul. It certainly is time for an overhaul. Let's, I guess, really boost it. Could it be that it just didn't have enough level? I can hear the preamp hiss now, or tape hiss. It's preamp hiss. Okay, let's... Hopefully that gives us a bit more to work with here. Yeah, man, I don't know, you guys. I'm kind of sad, but it would almost seem that my number 1 Tascam is on the fritz. That's a bummer because Monosynth Monday yesterday... I saw in the chat room, I thought Gonzin said, try adding water to it. No, Gonzin would never say that. He was talking about something else. Let me just pull out the other Tascam I promised we would use if we had these types of issues, which we do. We do. Bye-bye. Ooh, helps if you take the power cord out, too. Oh, man. Not sure what's going on there. But I have 2 more Tascams. We're kind of running out of time. I do have somewhere I need to be tonight. I thought all the technical failures and weirdness was supposed to be going on during Mercury retrograde, but I suppose we're still in the retrograde shadow period, which, you know, is like as far back as it goes, and it has to come back and then create new ground moving forward or something. This is the other Tascam here. Tascam number 2. Kind of overdue for a Workshop Wednesday show, and might be worth trying to troubleshoot some of these issues I've been having on a Workshop Wednesday, although I can't do it tomorrow because I'm busy as can be. Oh boy. So let's put the tape in here. This Tascam is somewhat famous for having strange issues as well. Okay, let's hear that track 4. I am wondering if the preamp just was not hot enough. I mean, I don't know. I can barely hear. It seems like something's wrong with my preamps, I guess. That's what I get. I was doing some weird vaporwave stuff with the Tascam. Yeah, then that night before Tape Tuesday, worried. I was going like this. I was taking this, and not with a tape loop, but with the normal tape, and I was kind of pushing down on this. That's the take-up reel. I don't know which one this one is. The feeding reel. And I was kind of warbling and wobbling. It was sounding really cool. And I was a little worried that I shouldn't be doing that. And then sure enough, the day after, on the frets. But, you know, I don't know if that has anything to do with the preamp. So let's see. We're just creating a strange drum beat now of failed attempts at creating our one hit. We got Gonzin in the chat saying, it's all been a bit nuts this month. Well said, my friend, Gonzin. Okay, plugging back on in. See if I can make quick work of this. We're a little bit behind now. I gotta catch up on time here. But thanks again for joining me and, you know, experiencing a real human creative process. I think that's one of the things I like to offer here. Okay, that's the hi-hat coming through. Level looks healthy. Track 4. I guess we could do it on track 1 now because this is a different Tascam, unless it's the tape that's making... It's that cursed cassette tape, right? I don't know. Okay. There's one hit there. I don't know what channel it's on, but let's see if I can... I'm trying to make like a beat out of all my failures. I'm trying to spin mush into magic. Come on. Yeah, see, that sounds the way it should probably sound, or a bit better, but the level is still extremely low compared to what it was going in, so... Okay. So, now that we got a hi-hat, I mean, I swear my method is sound. It's just that my tape machines aren't working with sound in a sound way. Okay. What are you guys talking about? Mold app for your phone adds mold to stuff to make it look real. That's cool. Okay, so another tempo situation going on the E's. I swear, all of my best laid tape plans. Such a scatterbrain too. Let's restart the E's. 01 over. And that's pitched down. So we will go into track 3 this time. Let's arm that for record and give it a That has a bit of a BPM too. Maybe I'll shut the E's off. Maybe it's the E's creating strangeness. We can handle a little bit of silence, but it does get a little bit quiet when you don't have anything going in the background. Okay. We're going for that hi-hat, and this is a different machine, so the pitch control wheel was all the way down there, so we lost that, which is fine. Let's see our drum beat. Okay, when that hits, loud, yeah, loud. Okay, I'm just trying to get that hi-hat to, it was hitting on a snare. Oh, that's pretty good. It must have had muscle memory of, okay, the tape's behind, so let's speed it up a bit. Let's hear that. That's pretty good. That's very good. I think that's synced up, and that's the main thing you got to do. You want it to sync up for like at least 3 loops around. You don't want it to drift that fast. It's okay if it drifts, because I don't think you'll ever quite get it perfect. I mean, maybe, but it's not like vinyl. I'm sure you could beat match tapes and not tape loops, but haven't ever tried that. I'll have to do that. Okay. So it's turned into a bit of a... Let's see. It reminds me of Princess Bride when they're... It's like that high, the phantom hi-hats. Okay, that's right on the downbeat. Maybe the tape was late? No, it still seems pretty good. It's late, so I'm gonna just barely touch the pitch control. I try to restart the drum machine. Late. Tape's late. Still late. It's difficult. Okay, maybe I got it this time. Problem is when I hit record, it's going to shift the tape or it has a stop. So it's not like I can get it synced up and then just hit record. It will be off. Richard, we got Richard in the chat saying, "I've totally lost track of what he's doing." I assume you're referring to me. You know, when you didn't pay attention in class, then realize you don't know what's going on. I feel like I don't know what's going on sometimes in my own classroom. It's because I've probably gotten a little bit boring. It makes the mind drift. But you guys also have the chat room, so okay. Tape is still late, but it seems consistently late. I'm just not hitting it correctly on the down beat. So let's see if I could just train my brain. That's when I should hit it. Okay, I'm gonna hit record here now. I got it, I think. And I stopped it a little early because I didn't want any of that wonky double kick drum. Let's hear it. I do need an extra kick there, though. Or we could add something a little bit wild. Okay. That sounds pretty good. Now we get to make another drum pattern. We'll get to business now that I have a Tascam that's up for the task. At hand, Tascam man. Whoa! Okay, so that's now our drum beat, and that'll help a lot more, I think. Let's go back over to the drum machine and come up with a nice hi-hat pattern. We'll sound on sound right over this one here. Okay, so I'll stop the tape machine, put the ease back on. Because we have a beat on tape that's hopefully synced up enough to let us finish the tape finally. Okay, so this hit here, let's go for the voice. Electronic kick, it's talking about hi-hat. I want a closed hi-hat, and mix is 0. This drum machine sounds good. It's one of those digital responses to the... Well, I don't know. Probably a digital response to digital drum machines, but... I'll lower that a little bit. Okay, cool. So now we can delete this pattern, erase, record, so we're good, and then record, play, and it gives us that nice metronome. Let's do a little hi-hat part here. What do we think of that? We cool with it? Let's hear it against the Tascam. It's really easy to make stuff happen when all your gear works. We sure learned that yesterday with the DIN sync situation. Okay, let's try this out. Wonky. That's pretty cool. I think that sounds pretty all right. There's no sense in keeping a pattern that's slightly mediocre, though. I want to re-record that really quick. We'll keep those hi-hats there. Erase, record. That's how you hit enter, basically. So, and then record, play. Okay, let's think about that beat. Doom, 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 doom. Let's do another hi-hat there. There we go. Kind of sounds like a little bit shuffly. There is a swing button here, and it seems like, what, 62% swing? Wait, 06. How do I control that? 6-7. Swing in record. I'm not sure if I'm breaking stuff or not. I said this was super intuitive drum machine, but 5. I don't want any swing, and then it's saying is 0 50%. Yeah, that sounds like it's got swing. So let's delete it again and record play. Try something. Kind of like that beat. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's get that ready for recording. And I'll give it a healthy level because it seems like everything's dropping down a little bit. It's always nice to have something on the weird backbeat. Okay, that's cool. So I kind of have to hit record, I think, and then hit this when it... Hitting record, at least on that last Tascam, shifts the tape or it stops it momentarily, so you can't just hit record because everything will be shifted. That happened to us a couple weeks ago, and it did sound cool because it shifted it and landed it right on the upbeat, so it kind of gave us a hookup, but... in the chance that it's not a hookup and sounds rubbish, then we would have to start over again, which I don't want to do. So let's play it. All right, and I got the drum machine ready to go. Okay, I'm going to hit record right now. And stop it just right at the right time. I did not hear the shift on this, so perhaps this machine doesn't do that. Once again, it's analog gear, you know. You have to treat each one of these things like it's its own being. Supreme being. Let's hear what we got. Ooh. That's success. We can all go home now happy. But while we're succeeding, let's do some more tracks. And then after we record all this, I'll slow it down a bit and see if it vaporwaves nicely. Okay, arming track 2 for total record. You can't probably hear it because it's the same. So back over here on the drum machine, let's stop it and erase record, delete that pattern. Let's find some other new drums. And a lot of these are just not on. Oh, that's the voice. This is mix. Yeah, it's 0. That's not quite tuned up. Should we do some of these? Yeah, we'll do some of these. So that one, let's see. Let's get the sample. That's Tom 1, Tom 2. Whoa, Tom 2 pad is what it was. Let's see. This is low conga slap, which have no idea where. There's a number associated with it, so. Yeah, sorry you guys can't see that, but it's okay. You'll survive. It's number 34, so let's go down to 34. I want to take that probably. I need to utilize this type of sound more often. But it's not tuned up, so let's tune them up a bit. And by tuned up, I might mean tuned up to the E's playing in the background as well as just the beat. Whoops. Voice, tone, tune. This button's called tune, that's what you need. Hot the Tascam. Let's fix up this one too. Maybe I'll just keep it congas on this track we're gonna do here. Okay, so we are ready. I still don't trust the shift, so, and maybe I'll play these ones by hand. You know, now that I've proven you can sync up a drum beat to a tape loop, I'll play these by hand, make it sound a little bit more human since we've had a nice chat about our humanity today. Okay, here I go. Here it goes. Not sure if that's rubbish or not. Oftentimes, what happens is when you're practicing, it sounds way cooler than what you actually do. It's super hot, too hot. Yeah, we're gonna have to redo that one really quick. I think that I can try my scientific fastness. Oh wait, no, this doesn't have any. Oh, that's why we missed the kick. It doesn't have any tape on the erase head. I got to change that. It'll be really funny if this piece of tape right here is the common variable that's been screwing up my other Tascam. We'll find out really quick. It can't be. It can't be tape, can it? Oh, boy. I'm going to have to do some serious differential diagnosing, but, oh, man. I put the tape on there when I was supposed to be taking the tape off because it didn't have the tape on there. Now I got to take the tape back off, put the tape back in here, set it up to record. Well, okay, I'm going to erase that last track. It was rubbish, and it missed the last of the bongos. Okay, back to the erase head. Okay. What a day. What a day. And it's that time of year again. It's getting hot in the studio. Okay. This one's a little weak here. Let's see if the volume is okay on that. 66. Okay, and this one? Yeah, it was half the power. Okay, back to the beat. That sounded cool. Wish I had that recorded. I like that. Okay, we'll go for it. Boom, boom. Here we go. I messed that up again. It's weird because this is the high tom and that's the low tom, but it should be reversed. I thought that my brain was smart enough to handle that, but it's apparently not. In the moment. Let's see if this is rubbish too. Can't even hear it. So, oh no, there we go. Ugh. No more issues, I'm swearing. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's pull it again. Pull it again. Man, I suppose that last Mercury retrograde was such a doozy that the Mercury shadow period that we're in now is also a doozy. For those of you who believe that planets pull on each other, which they obviously do. Obvious to me. I don't know if it's obvious to you. Oh, baby, baby, yeah. Okay, that'll do. Let's do the flipperoo once again. Okay, now I gotta remember, low tom is not low tom, but also hello tom. Oh, hi tom and hello tom. We're armed for record, let's. Okay, not too hot, that's too hot. Okay, where's the downbeat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. Okay. 3, 4. Hopefully that does it, because we gotta move on. A little weak, but at least it's not blasting the... Wish that snare was louder. Oh well. We're moving on over to track 1, the one that wouldn't get it done on the last Tascam. Tascam 1. Yeah, I don't know. That's a complicated machine. I've opened them up before, but I don't know if I can change the score of my other one. I don't know what's wrong with it. We might just have to use this Tascam as number 1 now. I also have a number 3. That was the Fritzy Poppy one. That one has like some kind of crackle going on. Okay, new pattern. Let's see. We're 2 hours in. Where's Master Tiger? I'm just getting warmed up. Master Tiger, that's so funny. How you guys doing in the chat room? I want to check up on you really quick. Richard in the chat saying, no teeth participation. Are you talking about when I hit my tooth on the microphone yesterday? Because I was so excited. It happens on Mondays. You guys are talking about something. I don't know. Okay, from the Tascam Vision today, this is Kiara saying, I keep wanting to pop one of those neon chiclets in my mouth. A neon what? Oh, from the one of these. They are like little neon chiclets. I remember also the chiclets that were very small. They were tiny, like the size of nerds, but they were chiclets, and you'd have to take a whole little handful of them and then kind of accretion disc them together. Although I'm always thinking in terms of solar systems and galaxies, so accretion. You'd have to kind of mush them together. It was quite an experience. I wonder if they still sell those, because that might be fun to revisit it, but not so much the artificial flavors and dyes. Forget about that stuff. Anything that's artificial these days is its time is marked. Maybe. I hope. I don't know. We gotta get back to the realness of things. Surreal. You can call me surreal. Okay. Chiclets. Okay, I got distracted with neon chiclets. Master Tiger saying, still here. Yes. Master Tiger also saying, and there's some warmth here. Yeah, I know it's probably getting hot for you down there. But are you talking about the warmth on the tape analog warmth? I gotta do something freaky and funky on this last track. So what's it gonna be? Let's get over to the drum machine and see. It seems like half of these are muted. Mix. Mix, yes. We don't need that many kicks in our mix. The cheesy 90s drum machine sounds, but we can also make them sounds like a weird 90s video game too. Tempted to add some more snare, but I'd have to voice it down, I think. Okay, so let's erase the pattern and do a record play. We'll give you that double snare that you liked, Dolphin. But I was meant to hit the other snare, but let's see. Whoops. And tone it down. Okay, that's gonna work. And it sucks on this machine. You can't hit record in the middle. I don't know why they did that. They did that a lot in the 90s. Like the MC303 has that. You have to hit record before you hit play or else it won't record, which to me seems stupid. Jeez, Alesis. Okay. We got our pattern here, recording. Oh, that's totally wrong. I wonder if there's a way to undo the last thing we did. There must be, but I don't know what it is, so we gotta delete that. Hope we weren't too attached to that pattern here. Okay. Now that's totally different, but whatever. Trying to just put as much in there as I can get, but I can't use the toms. We already did that, so let's see what we got up here that's not muted. That could be cool. All right, so let's get this show on the road. And by that, I mean, I got to get on the road. I got somewhere. I'm not late, but I might be late for a very important date tonight. Okay. Here we go. Let's see how it sounds with the drum machine added on in. Real quick, maybe you want to change the pitch of that hat. Can also change the voice here. Nice rim shot would be good. Okay, cool. I think that will finish it. That'll handle it and solve it. So much talking. Sometimes I just... yes, the show, Master Tiger. You're talking about there's some warmth here. Yeah, the tape machines have that effect, as we all know. That's what we do. That's why we're going through all of this trouble to get that warmth from the tape. And then tape loop is like a whole other thing when you're dealing with drum beats. So thank you once again, my friends, for entertaining me. Wait, I thought I was entertaining you. Entertaining the syncing up drum beats to tape loops, because it's a little bit tricky. It's not just as easy as putting a drone on, and then you just like harmonize that drone, which I also like to do. We've done a lot of that though. Okay. That sounds good. Okay, so remember it might shift, so I gotta hit record first. Then hit play on the drum machine. Got it. I hope. You never know. You really do never know. Let's hear it. Here we go. That's pretty great. Now's the time. And it's cool because you kind of play these like you know what you're doing. Now's the time that Kiara's been waiting for. Let's slow it down a bit and see how it vaporwaves. And then all you need now is just some kind of a... That's vaporwave. And the coolest part about that is it's a tape loop. I love it. That's great. We got to fix the last one. That one needs some serious help from last week. Ooh, it sounds good sped up because it had a weird sample in there that has bass on it. It's giving that kind of like... Okay, so that's cool. Those are our two newest tape loops on beat loops on tape. But here's one. Tape Tuesday, episode 22. This was 909 day last year. September 9th. Shoutouts to Virgo. Oh, yeah. You remember this one? Oh, boy. I think I remember saying, it's not 909 Day without a 303. Cool, it's a tape loop. I mean, it amazes me. That was fun. I have a whole stack of these, you guys. I had to pull them out of my tapes and kind of make a whole stack. This one's called Engines and Droids. I'm confused. My stacks get weird. It should have been a beat. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's that 909 Day tape that threw me off. Ugh. That's like a tape week tape, I think. I did that with Kiera. That might have been the tape I did all by myself, but she was right here. Remember that one? This one's Tape Tuesday, episode 9. Number 9. This is not the stack of tape loops that are all beats. It's somewhere over there. Anyways, thank you all so much for joining me on Tape Tuesday. I know it was a slight bit of a struggle these last few shows. Not because of me. I've been feeling great, you guys. But, you know, technical difficulties. It's Mercury retrograde stuff. Just can't wait to... I get, you know, the shadow period of Mercury retrograde, yeah. Once we clear that, then it really is all planets direct, and we can get pushing into new territory, which I'm sure we will do. Coming up shortly here. I do got to run. I got to let you guys go. But thank you for joining me on my tape, on my really weird tape show. I sure appreciate you all. That's right. All of you. Whew. Master Tiger in the chat saying, we know, ... You have to be somewhere. Okay. Yeah, I guess I repeat myself quite a lot, but, you know, tape loops. I got tape loop brain. It's going to say it again and again and again. And with that, I'll play you one more tape loop before I have to go. Ooh. I sure love you all, and I love this planet, and I know that you love this planet too. Love your mother. That's all we got in space here, alone in space. We gotta be a family. That was quite a lot of fun. I did have a lot of fun. I'm glad that we could chop it up a little bit in the chat room. Might have to... That was a lot of chat today, so good on you guys for having a great old time in the chat room. Give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my Ease shows. All of the links to all of the Ease shows are in the description. Ease 12, I'll say that one again, Master Tiger. Ease 12, I'm very proud of. I like that one a lot. Probably going to put that one on myself right now. But, yeah. Join me in the future for a future show at a future date. Thank you so much, Gonson. It is good to hang out. Key Era. Richard, so many machines, Richard and Dolphin. Master Tiger, of course. Hen, wherever you are, Hen. Busy Hen. and Misty Forest. Who am I missing? I don't think I'm missing anybody. It was a nice tight-knit chat family today. And thank you so much, Electric Archaic. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, man. You'd think I'd be running out of jokes, but I seem to keep coming up with new ones. I guess that's the beauty of having an original, organic mind. Not copying anyone. As far as I can tell. I mean, I know that we do that subconsciously, but you're welcome, DJ Reggie C, Misty Forest. I love you all. I love you guys so much. Okay, gonna sign off here, but I will fade out the music like I normally do. Spring has sprung. Happy birthday, all Aries is coming up, and I got nothing else. Just a bunch of machines that need solder and diagnosing of strange problems. Tempted to say I might need to send that Tascam to somebody. But I've seen those problems before and then they've healed themselves. So I said this to my 303 yesterday. Or maybe it was on 303 day. I can't remember. I say too much too often. Get better soon, Tascam number 1. We love you. We love you so much. This Tascam is the one. This one has been through all E's shows. This new one has been through maybe half of them. Anyways, I'm rambling. It's time to start scrambling because I do not want to be late for a very important date. That's a nice part of the E's. Yeah. Have a good week, everybody. Hopefully I can use all of this extra energy as a power up to finish some of those old projects that I keep talking about. Cotton Candy album, music video. We'll see you when I see you. Peace and love in this happy galaxy. Let's make this planet a happy planet. Once again, love you guys.